Got these two Magwells today. This is for the Glock 20 SF. So this will also work on the Glock 21 SF and a few other models as well. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with the Gen 3. I also got the Taran Tactical TTI. This is the everyday or the carry Magwell. Gen 3, flat black. Pretty nice piece. Made a video on this Dawson. Really happy with this thing. I mean, it is larger, especially compared to the TTI. And the other difference is the TTI has this flush set screw versus Dawson Precision Ice Magwell has a screw that sits on top of the grip. Now, I don't notice this in any way. This is the Glock 34, so it's under my hand, but even if my hand was on top of it, it's rounded. It's a nice screw. It doesn't have any sharp edges. I can't perceive that. I mean, even if I push in as hard as I can, it's not a problem for me, even at different spots in my hand. And I would say that if you are deciding over this, that this is really a non-issue. I wouldn't make or break the decision based on that. Performance-wise, the Dawson is really, I mean, it's really nice. You can kind of see, maybe I can get in here a little bit better, the shape of it. It's really a funnel. I mean, it is larger than the TTI everyday, but this is more of a, I mean, I'm not a competition guy, maybe at some point in the future, but this is something I kind of built out on the 34 for more competition style, so I didn't mind having this big honking Magwell in here, but I really do like this piece. So I'm going to put in the Carver and the TTI, and the Glock 17 and the Glock 20. I do have some other couple things to install. I got the Vickers Tactical extended mag release for the Glock 20. It's a little bit difficult being left-handed. I really like the one on the 34, which is the Glock OEM extended. Very easy to use. I'm also going to get one for the G17. That little bit of extension helps me to get my finger to bite down. So got that for the G20. Also this TTI Ultimate Trigger Connector for Glock. I'm going to put that in the 17 because what I'm finding is I'm not 100% thrilled with the action of the G17 Gen 3. I really like my 34 from the factory. This is set up with a lighter, the Glock minus, I guess the minus connector, which is 1 pound or so lighter than the regular G17. But I probably put about 1,500 rounds through this, 2,000 rounds, and it has broken in, and it's really it's getting better and better every time it gets used. So if you're not really happy with your Glock trigger out the box, shoot the dog piss out of it, and you know, it sort of starts to break in, and they do age well as, you know, as the internals get naturally polished from use. They sort of start to break in. Two different grips here. The G20, I got just the regular Hogue grip. It's got the finger wells. These are all Gen 3s. And then on the G17, I have the beaver tail one. Let me get these put in. They're very straightforward. One issue is going to be with this Hogue grip on the G17. The hole here is covered for the Magwell, so I'm either going to have to punch that out or take this thing off. And I'm not going to take this thing off now. I'm going to try to use it and see how I like it. On the 34, I have the Talon grips, and I'm very happy with these. So one thing here about this Carver kit, this is more similar to the Dawson style, where they give you a plug for the magazine well, and then you screw to that, and then you screw to the actual magwell. The TTI one is different. I got this put in. I had to peel back this hoe grip a little bit, but it'll still sit on top. This is just all one piece, which is a superior design. But I am noticing that for this everyday carry one, it's a little tight. I'm sort of scratching it up a little bit, doing some mag reloads, but you know, who cares? It's just a piece on the bottom to help facilitate getting your mag in and out. But the Dawson Precision one, they give you this plastic end cap, which I think has a little bit less friction. And then these are replaceable versus where if you ding this up and you're not happy about that, you'll have to refinish it or buff it or polish it or whatever. But this, you just buy a new one with the Dawson Precision system. And then with the Carver, so this is all aluminum. This is a really nice piece, by the way. I did notice, again, this is kind of a nitpicky thing, and I don't know if you can see this, but, and this just might have been someone at QC, but there was a ding on this one that came out of the factory, and they just sort of touched it up. You can see that line going up where they beveled this edge here, but then they tried to, I guess, get this scratch in here taken down or painted over. But otherwise, it's a really nice piece. I mean, I don't know if that's really a deal breaker. Probably should have been sold as a blemish, though. If you're paying $80 or $90 for one of these pieces of aluminum, you probably want to make sure if you're buying it retail that it doesn't have something like that. But I'm not going to really hold that against them. So we got these other two on. This is the TTI carry. This is the Carver. This is really the only thing I could find for the G20. So a couple things to note here. The Dawson, this is a Magpul 10 rounder. With the 10 rounders, I'm noticing that you have to really send them home. I mean, you should be doing this anyways, but the other thing is these, same thing with the OEM mags, they balloon a little bit in the middle, so do get a little bit of a hang up with the loaded mag dropping, but with an empty mag, they drop out, no problem. So on the Dawson Ice factory 10 round, pretty smooth, comes out. Don't have the slide rack, so there's a little bit more tension that way. Still, they will fit. They take a little bit of effort. With the TTI, it takes a little bit more effort. That's the factory 10 round. Factory 17 round, it seems to like just a little bit better. Same thing with the Dawson. The Dawson is really smoother, I think, overall. There's the Magpul 10, Factory 17, Factory 10, empty Factory 10, and with the TTI, here's a Factory 10, Magpul 10, Factory 17, Factory 10, Magpul 17, and Dawson with the Magpul 17. So they're pretty similar. The TTI has a little lower profile. The TTI, I think, gets a little bit better design for not having the rear screw. But so you can see my three different grips on the Talon grips. I had to cut out that little hole there in the grip, but that was very simple. On the Hogue, this is nice. It folds up and it actually covers the edge here, the beaver tail grip, and then this is just open. I want to warn you that these screws can snap, these Allen head screws, so you just got to get them snug, a little bit over snug, and then just, you know, be happy with that. So you can snap these. Now, one of the thing here is that on the TTI, again, I think that this is, you know, there's no screw head here. It's just the end of this insert screw, but it does stick out a little bit. And again, I don't think you're ever going to notice that. I mean, you could file that down as long as you don't mess up the engagement if you wanted to ever remove it. But it does stick out just a 32nd of an inch versus, you know, this. It's much more of a protrusion, but it's a soft screw head. I don't notice it. It's not a problem. And the other cool thing about the Hogue here is that when you flip it down, it just sort of all meshes together, and it covers that, and it's kind of nice. The Talon grips, I had to cut them a little bit. So this is, again, the beaver tail one will fold over. This is the beaver tail up here, and then just the regular Hogue grip all. It does not interfere at all. Again, it comes down, I think, to what you're using them for. The carry, I mean, if this is your EDC, you have a holster inside waistband, you may want this lower profile. For more of a competition or range gun, I would go with the Dawson. This Carver is nice. The design, I think, I'm having a little bit of fitment with the G20 SF, and they said that was to be expected, but this rear hole here was a little, it's not high enough into the back strap to make it all sit well. So I'm going to contact the company and see what they recommend, if I should open this hole a little bit, or you know, what I should do. But it seems to function well. So mag drop free, really nice loads. It's a little bit, it's not going to cut you, but there are some fine edge here that no big deal, but it's nice as well. I mean, I'm happy with that. I do think that I like the Dawson Precision though the most for a range gun. So guys, let me know if you have any questions on these, or you want to see or talk about anything else about them. Again, range, competition, I like the Dawson. There is another TTI they make that's wider. That might be a nice pick as well. Everyday carry, this works well, but you know, you got to make sure with any of these you are creating some space in between where your magazine will insert. So you have to send your reloads home with authority. If you're not prepared to do that, I would suggest not getting one of these. But they do help if you have a little bit of off-center pushing in with your reload. Then they do help to guide the reload home, which is kind of nice. But with the trade-off of, you're gonna have to make sure you get that thing seated. If your life depends on it, you have to make sure that you have enough time in to have this motion, this muscle memory, to make sure you get your reload. So from the factory, yeah, I mean, you might have a little bit of a hiccup on the side getting it in, but you know, most of the time it's going to seat perfectly. Glock mags can be a little bit difficult when they're fully loaded up anyways, but I'm happy with these. I like them. I think they make shooting more enjoyable. So again, let me know if you guys have questions. Thanks for watching.